What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of VCC Live. My name is Kevin Skipper, and I'm joined tonight with co-hosts Jay DeLuco and Matt Coley. And Nick Green is online. I just got a notification from Skype. Maybe I can make this work. You guys think we should bring Nick in?
Yeah, huh?
Try.
Okay.
He had a long day, but
I'm going to go to the disclaimer then, so people don't have... Well, I can't do that, can I? And also,
sure you can.
And how do I work on the scene?
You right-click on the scene you want to change.
Okay, so... well, anyway, we'll do it live. I'll do it. I don't care, really. I'm not.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
I'm not standing on ceremony or anything. Is that the right usage? Delete.
Works for me.
Move. Add people to this call.
Jay, you kind of have some ribs like blending into your hat there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. This is a black leather rim from when we won the Super Bowl.
It'd be cool if you could just wore like all green, so just your face was in the ribs.
Good.
I do have a green hat.
Oh, please.
We're already live, but I'm updating the scene, so people are bearing with us, hopefully.
I started watching your vlog today, Nick. Like, unfortunately, it's an hour and a half long, and I started watching it like a half hour ago. So, and we have.
I just heard that, Nick. Well, he touched his microphone. I could hear that. He's fixing something.
Yeah. Okay. Fix things.
He's saying, hold on a minute. So anyway, guys, if there's anyone in chat already, just, say hey to each other and talk and spread love.
Discuss things.
Yes.
Hey.
Oh, God, it's working.
It's working.
Thank God.
So Nick, I saw on the vlog that you said you're completely free for May or March. Wait, no, May.
For May.
For May.
Yeah.
May
What are the dates of that in May?
So NVE is May. Yes, May 5th and 6th, I believe.
Doesn't sound too sure about that.
It's that weekend. I just booked my hotel last night. That's why I'm excited. Yeah, it's the 6th and 7th. So I'm driving down on the 5th and then driving home on the 7th.
Hey.
So if you want to come down, we can do dinner and stuff.
That's like 3 weeks from now?
Yes, like 21 days.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
I
might
don't know why
do that.
I don't know why these sizes are off, but whatever. It's whatevs.
It's
all
whatever.
Right. How are we looking live? We good live now, people?
We look dead sexy.
Why is Skype all fucky now?
Sweet.
Sweet and fucky.
Fucky Skype. All right, cool. So we were just saying, hey, welcome co-host Jay, Nick Green, Matt Coley.
Yeah.
If you're watching and you're watching on the replay, just skip ahead to, well, you're actually not going to know that, are you? Skip ahead.
They already watched it.
They already watched it, yeah. Anyway, so, it's been a few weeks since we've all been together, and we don't have a set plan tonight. There's a few updates I have. Last week we had a special guest, Andrew Osborne from the New York State Vapor Association, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. We have updates on New York and Montana. We're going to talk a little bit about Apathy tonight and catching up on what's been going on since Matt and Nick have been away for a little bit. So, Jay, we know what you've been doing. We're going to skip ahead and go on down to... we can see what Jay's been doing. Look behind him. Grilling ribs and shit. Chilling and...
Smoking the ribs. Get it right.
Well, you don't smoke them and then finish them off on the grill?
No.
Oh,
you don't
man,
need
come
to do
on,
that.
man. Yeah, we're definitely skipping over Jay. What's up, Matt? How you been, man? It's been a while. Where you been up to?
Good. I was in Mexico for like 8 days, and yeah, trying to catch up from that. Got really sunburnt, really bad.
As you can tell by the way he's holding out his arms.
White guy problems.
Don't touch me. Don't touch
I think
me.
my whole nose is like cancer now.
God, that's awful.
Jesus.
It was a good time. We have some friends that live down there in Playa del Carmen, so we visited them, and yeah.
So you have something you're going to update us on YouTube. We'll let Nick tell us about what he's been up to the last couple weeks, and then actually we can go into that first, and you can kind of tell us what's been going on with YouTube. I'm sure Nick knows about it as well, so you guys can fill everyone in. So Nick, what's been going on? How was your trip?
Oh yeah, it was great. UK is always awesome. I was there last year for Vape Jam in 2016, and it was a really fun event. I had a really great time this year. Same event, same venue. A bunch of new people there to hang out with. I had a really great time. It was crazy. Like, legitimately, I felt like there were way too many people in there.
Wow.
Like, it was just so packed both days. Even the B2B day was really busy, man. It was pretty intense. And then the rest of the event was just crazy, huge, loud vape event.
That's how the
but it was
Birmingham
really fun.
ones are too.
Yeah, everyone was telling me about the Birmingham one. I can't go to the Birmingham one. It's like this weekend or next weekend.
No, it's end of May.
Oh, really? Is it the end of May?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I can't go. Yeah, it's at the end of May. I have family coming into town. They're coming to visit me. I haven't seen my dad in like 2 years, so he's coming down to visit me. So that's why I can't get out there. But it was awesome. It was a really fun event. London is a really cool city. Everybody there is really insanely polite. Like, too polite. Like, you think that they're so polite that you feel like they're being shady.
Well, I think sometimes they are.
They're genuinely
Oh,
that
you
good.
cynical American.
No, I love it over there, and every time we go over there, I say I want to move there. But like, I've asked a few of them that, and they said, yeah, even if we don't like you, we're like that. So I think sometimes they're just very good at that. It's they're kind of passive aggressive. Even if they diss you, it still sounds very friendly and nice.
Kind of like the whole,
the
whole Southern, bless your heart or bless his heart
It
kind
really
of
means
thing.
go fuck yourself.
Right.
Yeah, they're basically saying fuck you. But yeah, it was a great time. I had a great time trying to get back into the groove of things with videos and stuff like that. So yeah, good
Very
times.
cool. So Matt has an update for us about YouTube and what they've been up to lately. So I don't know if you've heard this or not yet, Nick, but maybe it'd be news for you as well.
Other than ruining everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying, I didn't know if you guys had talked about it on past shows or not, but it's not super new anymore. But YouTube's been demonetizing some vape videos, kind of on random, but like they've been doing it to other industries too. Basically, what happened was there was a big YouTube boycott a couple weeks ago where Wall Street Journal did an expose because they were finding like advertising on like racist content and stuff like that, and so they got all these huge companies to leave YouTube, and now YouTube's cracking down. And I don't know, did you get some demonetized, Nick?
Yeah, they sent me a couple emails. I have like 4 or 5 videos that got demonetized, and they seem to be just at random videos. Like, there's no rhyme or reason. I have 900 vaping videos on YouTube.
Wow.
But the few that they picked are my highest viewed videos. Like, my coil build tutorial is almost at 2 million views, and that's one of the ones that they demonetized.
But you've already made your money.
Well, yeah, I've already made my money, but it just seems so random. It's literally a close-up, the entire video of me wrapping Canthal around a screwdriver and putting it in an RDA, and suddenly this is not advertiser appropriate. Wrapping wires.
It does seem like they just picked it on, like the only recent one they demonetized of mine was the one that I made about the Verge video, talking about how wrong the Verge was, and it's because it was getting a lot of views probably. But yeah, you're right. It seems like they only did it to like very, popular videos. Yeah. So I don't know. It's scary to see where it's going to go. Who knows?
Well, that's exactly why I started a Patreon account, because I'm sick of YouTube. Yeah. I hate YouTube. I hate them.
I think we'd all be okay if they demonetize. I don't think there's any vape channels that are making tons of money. But But I guess the fear is like, would they, if they demonetize you, would they end up, I guess, like exposing your, like making it so your channel or your videos can get found? Would it be harder for people to find your videos? That type of thing.
Right. Yeah. Big conspiracy.
Who knows?
I think with 900, you're probably safe. 900 videos.
Not those 5 that got demonetized though.
Yeah.
Because they tend to like, if a
crazy.
video is demonetized, it won't come up as high like in search and stuff like that.
I mean, because
And so
Google's not
that's-
making money off of it.
Exactly. And so that's kind of like the fear is like not necessarily like just the losing the money itself, but will all the channels just, kind of get hidden.
Yeah.
So even YouTube is all about the money. It's not just vaping advocacy, people. See.
Well, I would, I think YouTube is just scared right now because there's way more to it where the mainstream media hates YouTube because YouTube's taking billions of advertising dollars away from them. So they're constantly looking for any way to expose YouTube. And then YouTube's losing billions of dollars now because of, this newest thing. And they don't know what to do. They're trying to just crack down here and there. And so they could say we did it,
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be fine and they'll rebound from it. Like everything else in today's society, it's got a 2 or 3 day lifespan, and shit goes back to the way it was. Seems that way anyway. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of update for you real quick on a couple of states. New York, as I don't know if you guys watched last week or not, but last week's video we had Andrew Osborne from the New York State Vapor Association. We were going over all the bad shit going down in New York that was proposed. And I think within a couple of days of our video, I don't even want to say that VCC Live impacted the New York State Legislature. I'm just kidding. But literally, within a few days of our video, I'll take us over to the right monitor real quick and show you this post that they had on the New York State Vapor Association had on Facebook. And then, let's see. Hopefully I don't forget to go back over. It was they shared a link from the vapingpost.com. It says NYSVA confirms state budget removes all vapor regulations. And if you click on that, it'll take you over here. I'm just going to read the intro. You guys can look at the link that I post in the description. It says, just hours after learning that the New York State Legislature had reduced the vapor language from the state budget proposal, we were contacted by the NYSVA to inform us that the budget has been revised to show that all vapor regulation language is now entirely absent from the 2017-2018 New York State budget proposal. Not even a tax increase remained. So basically, a huge win for the state of New York, and congrats to those advocates and businesses and consumers in the state of New York who are fighting against this for the past several months. So that's awesome news. They had a Clean Indoor Air Act amendment proposed. They had taxes proposed, and all of it's gone, which is great. And it goes to show you that if you do get involved and if everyone does something, you can make a difference. So that's fantastic news from the state of New York. And then Matt has a quick update for us on Montana, which I think he has pretty similar news, right, Matt?
Yeah, I saw a couple days ago that I guess they had killed the tax bill. So I think everything's dead now for this session. From what I'm not 100% certain, but I'm like 98.
What do you think was what do you think was the cause of it? Do you think it was some organization, or do you think it was just a difference of philosophies from?
I mean, people were definitely outraged, but being that it's Montana and it's a very the legislature leans, there's way more Republicans, and most of those Republicans are, borderline, libertarian side. A lot of it's just philosophy. I think I don't want to say yet if no one would have said anything, they still wouldn't have done it, but it was proposed by a Democrat, and you know how it is. The Republican majority is not going to let a Democrat get a tax bill through.
Well, however, a win is a win. It doesn't matter.
But there were definitely some people like Deanna Marshall and her husband. They have she's pretty active, like on Facebook too. But they have a vape shop in Montana, and they worked their ass off, and some other vape shops did too. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, very good news from at least two states. I don't know. I don't have any other updates. It looks like on the live right now on YouTube, we're kind of potato-y. Not sure what's going on there. Maybe it's my internet. But anyway, so good news from at least 2 states, and we'll try to find out more information. There was a plethora of legislation this year across the country, and we'll try to keep you updated on that as well. Do you have anything from Massachusetts, Jay? Is it kind of still...
No, nothing has moved at all in Mass. As tax happy as they are, they're still very, very slow moving here. So we're just in the process now of trying to get in contact with all of the active members of our group, all of them getting in contact with their legislators, because I think that's where the success was in New York, was that they had individuals going after all of their individual assembly people, legislators, whatever you call them. And so they just the budget just lost complete support for all the vaping regulations because there was pushback. So we're kind of trying to follow that same type of model in Massachusetts right now. I'm still pretty hopeful that if we can't squash the tax, the 40% wholesale tax, we can at least lessen it, to a reasonable type of burden, but we'll see.
Now, I think Massachusetts is on like a 1 or 2 year cycle where they're in session.
2 years.
So
2 year sessions, yeah.
2 year sessions. So I don't know about Montana or New York. Most states are like a couple of months, and then they're out to the next year. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's something that you kind of have to stay on top of all the time in Massachusetts, or at least for a 2 year cycle anyway.
Absolutely, but at the same time, as you progress through that session, if you can squash a bill, it becomes much less likely that a copycat bill comes through. The closer you get to the end of that session. Yeah. So I mean, that's kind
unless
of our
you're
goal,
California.
Right? Unless you're California, where they just like pepper spray you with.
They just pop it up we did. SB 140 died, and it wasn't even a month later that it a completely different numbered bill that was basically that bill popped up again. We celebrated for a month when we squashed SB 140.
Yeah.
1 month.
So that's the fight. Yeah, that's the fight.
Yeah, that's the fight.
Well, I mean, there are positives though that are coming out of advocacy work, and I just want everyone to understand that there's a lot of negatives. We always talk about negativity, but positive things do happen.
And also, as these things get defeated across the country in different states, that sets a precedent, and it can scare bill sponsors in states that haven't yet been squashed, into just kind of throwing in the towel and saying, all right, I'm going to go focus on this stuff over here now.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that everyone should be using New York as something that they can look back to now. I mean, I would say, especially if you're in a red state, a Republican state, you can say even a state as liberal as New York took this language out of their budget bill. I mean, shouldn't you consider that in your own state as well? So, I mean, it's definitely, we want to use every means necessary that we can to win these and put these fires out. And if state legislators look at other states and copycat what legislation they're doing, advocates in other states should be looking at what advocates achieved in other states and pointing it out to their state elected officials and say, look, New York squashed this. Tax can't even pass in New York, for crying out loud. So, I mean, that's something that we should be shouting from the mountains and the rooftops for sure. I'm going to go back over for the next few minutes. We'll talk about something that we probably talked about before, and we're going to go from a positive to I don't know. I guess it could be a positive as well, but it's apathy in the community right now. It's not just
hey guys
in general.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to jump off. My YouTube account got hacked, and somebody's changing all my titles and stuff.
Oh
wait.
It's
what?
through. It's Armine. They've been doing it. They've been hacking different YouTube networks, and obviously they hacked my YouTube network. So I have to figure out and change all my passwords and stuff. So sorry.
All right, no problem.
No, go.
Yep. So guys, we're gonna have to do a little bit of jumping around here.
That sucks.
Wow, that's fucking horrible. Yeah. I'm gonna start checking my YouTube right now.
Yeah, you should probably.
I was gonna say
it.
You might want to jump over there. Let me see if I can add so Jay, you still look okay there, so I'll see if I can.
Yep. And I'm not gonna have to jump off because the last time I posted a YouTube video was probably a year and a half ago. So.
little bit of breaking news right here on VCC
Yeah.
Live.
That was.
The Trump administration hacks suck my mod.
I think it was Russia.
Russia, yeah.
Hey, mine all looks good for now. Fingers crossed.
Wow, that really sucks. That means Matt's going to be there for quite a little bit, depending on how much they got changed over. But anyway, so hopefully that's good. Let me check the live feed real quick and see how we're looking. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. All right, so apathy in the vaping community, and not just since the FDA regulations hit, how it's been, kind of everyone's been negative and businesses aren't willing to invest in marketing and different things like that. But I want to, this is more about advocacy related apathy. And I'll go to full monitor and show you. I did like a video the other day. I think it was on the 10th or so. The Florida Smoke-Free Association did a kind of like a call to action. We have, I don't know, close to 1,000 businesses in the state of Florida, and there are roughly 50 or 60 members of the FSFA, which is not enough to sustain payments for a lobbyist. And we have some legislation here with the Tobacco 21 Act and stuff like that, trying to include vaping into the definition of tobacco and raise the age to 21 to purchase either combustible tobacco or vapor products. So I did this video. It was just a quick, GoFundMe. They started a GoFundMe to try to get some support from not only businesses but also consumers. It's kind of sad that they have to resort to that because there are so many businesses in Florida that are not participating. Again, I mean, I see people saying, "Oh, what? They're not supporting your organization of choice." There are no other organizations in Florida doing anything actively. None. So this is really the only hope that businesses and consumers in Florida have right now. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that argument? But anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. I did this and I linked it to the GoFundMe. And at the time, there were 2 donations for $600. This video got about over 600 views and some shares and some likes and stuff. And if you go over here now and you refresh it, you can see that it went up by a total of $25. So not for lack of advertising. This particular one here has 52 shares from their GoFundMe page. $25 since I did the video and since they shared it additionally. And I'm sure multiple other people have shared it, and probably hundreds or thousands of people have seen it across the state and country that do business in the state of Florida. And it went up by $25. I mean, it's so incredibly disheartening. And for those of you who have donated, of course, I mentioned in the video, Damian Hewlett, Gentleman's Draw out of the Orlando area, and Casey Quatermos. I don't know how to say that, but Casey, thank you guys. Yeah. But $625 out of the $20,000 goal in the past 9 days it's pretty sad. And I don't know if that's a state of mind of the industry at the moment. I mean, Rip Trippers did a video and help out the AVA, and they raised a couple $100,000 or something. But keep in mind, he has a huge reach from all over. But you would think that people seeing this video would say, man, we got to do something in the state of Florida to help these guys catch up on our lobbyists or pay the lobbyists. And no one is. Everyone sees it and just keeps going about their day, apparently. But,
or, I mean, to give them the benefit of the doubt, they might not have seen it. I mean, that's a possibility too. I didn't see it. I didn't know about it. So, and I'm just a vapor guy on Facebook, same as everybody else, and I didn't see it. And I figure with my 5,000 vaping friends on Facebook, I would have seen it, but I didn't see it. It didn't come up in my feed at all. So it could be that just people didn't know about it, or, it didn't get shared to like a Florida-based
I shared it
Facebook
to every
group.
I shared it to all Tampa, Orlando, Ocala.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how Facebook
I don't
equates
know.
that. If it says 620 people viewed it, does that mean it just came across their screen as they were scrolling, or they actually pressed play, or I don't know how that works.
The way that Facebook works is if you're scrolling through your feed and there's a video, the video starts automatically and you have to pause it, and that counts as a view.
Oh, okay. So
That's
probably
what
the amount of
happens.
people who actually watched it and listened to the message weren't that many. But I mean, regardless of that, the FSFA has a couple thousand members on their page and they've shared it there. People have definitely seen it.
Yeah.
Some people, at least in the hundreds of people, have seen it. And one person since then has donated $25. I don't know.
Well, is it Is it mostly consumers donating the money, or is it shop
Well,
owners and vendors donating the
The
money?
gentleman's draw.
Because that's who should be donating.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. But they're at a point where they need to have money to help pay the lobbyists, and I guess it's to a point where it doesn't really matter where it comes from. If the lobbyist isn't fighting to stop this, both consumers and the industry are going to be affected by the legislation. So, I guess it's probably okay. I think it's probably okay to ask for help from both, but certainly in the state of Florida, there should be more businesses. And I know I've seen other people talking about this, and I've read huge threads with comments from certain people that say the onus shouldn't be on the consumers to do this, and I agree with that. But businesses just aren't helping. They're not supporting, not $100 a month, not $50 a month, not $10 a month. And there's no way that you can afford to pay a lobbyist and have them do the job that needs to be done in the Capitol in Tallahassee without money. So I don't know if it's. I mean, I know it's that way in Massachusetts as well. I don't know about how other states, but the apathy is just it's insanity, man.
It's always been that way in Massachusetts. People, if a bill is staring people in the face, they'll get excited for about 2 weeks. 2 weeks to 2 months, and then once the actual work comes into play, things get monotonous, and people just go, forget it. That's just it's the nature of the quote unquote business. And then you couple that with competing organizations and egos and all that stuff. It gets tiresome really fast.
There's no other organization in Florida, though, for instance. I mean, not that's doing anything. So
no, so that's one less thing you should have to deal with. In Massachusetts, we do have quote unquote competing organizations, and it just adds to the apathy. People get sick of hearing people bitch about other people, and
right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You think there's a solution? I mean, I don't like to just bring up things and bitch about them.
No,
what is the solution?
The solution,
There's got to be something.
Is just it's what I've always said. It's lead by example. Ignore the noise and just do what you think is right and keep doing what you think is right. That's it. Eventually, people will start to gravitate towards you and follow your lead. If you're constantly bitching about what other people are doing and what other organizations are doing, people are going to get turned off by that. Just keep doing what you're doing and putting out good vibes, making it seem cool to be active in advocacy. Eventually, you'll get enough people where it'll just kind of snowball. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to do that in Massachusetts, and in many other states, we haven't been able to do that. New York, it seems like they're really getting their fucking shit together right now, and they're in the spotlight. So they've been able to do really good things. Other states should follow their lead. Find somebody that's a good PR type representative, like somebody like Andrew, who we had on last week, who pretty much got to run the show for an hour. We didn't have to do anything. Like you ask him one question and he goes for 20 minutes,
Yep.
Yeah. We need somebody like that in Massachusetts. We really do.
Yeah.
And I think Florida could also benefit from that type of personality. You need a good front man to put,
or a woman.
Yeah, to rack them up and knock them down,
Yeah. Well, I thought that when I first started, I'm not involved with the FSFA anymore. Vista is gone because the states that were under Vista kind of got their shit together and we're doing great without needing any further support. So I'm not really involved formally in any advocacy organization at the moment. But at the beginning, I thought, well, having some successes will encourage businesses to say, hey, this is working out and we should support this organization. But it hasn't. 3 sessions in a row in the state of Florida, bills have been defeated that would have either hurt or severely crippled the industry and or access to consumers for 3 years in a row, which is a pretty good track record working on nothing, bare bones budget, and just the will of volunteers to help get things done. And it just hasn't snowballed. I don't know what it would take. Maybe it would take a loss for people to think, holy shit, this is true. This is real. Like this shit is, can possibly happen.
No.
I don't know. You look at California, and California had some losses, and I don't know that it really spurred people to get involved much there. I don't know. Nick, did it?
it doesn't spur people to get involved. Seeing a big loss only makes people go, well, what are they doing in Florida? Like, why don't they have advocates?
Right.
Why isn't anybody doing anything?
Even though you've been killing
People
yourself
just
for 3
get
years.
mad, right? People just get mad at the people that are trying to do something, and the people that are trying to do something are like, hey, I can't, this takes money, this takes time, this takes energy. If no one's willing to help, then yeah, things are going to get shitty. And then when things get shitty, the advocates get blamed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's just the way that's the way it's always been for 8 years. That's the way it's been as long as I can remember.
Exactly right.
So damned if you do, damned if you don't. Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, it's like Jay said, you just got to keep plugging away, and you got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but Bill made a great point in the chat. I can't find his exact comment. But he said that giving money to advocacy to get the things that we need is an ongoing business cost. If you run a business,
right,
that should be one of your costs of doing business. It's an ongoing thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And if the advocacy organizations continue to be funded at a low level, I mean, just like any other business, if a business is not taking in revenue, they're going to have to go out of business at some point, which is sad.
And if you don't like the way that your local advocacy organization is being run, join up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And change it.
Run for an
join
office.
Up and change it, or God forbid, start your own, which can create its own, sort of nightmares. But I would say just join up and change it from the inside. If you don't agree with the way that it's being run, step the fuck up.
Right. Do something.
Yeah. Yeah. Jay's getting angry now.
That's because I stopped drinking. I need some scotch. Hold on. Little Ardbeg to go with my ribs.
Fuck up.
It does, and that's why I've taken a step back, because I needed a break from it. You constantly getting criticized, but no one wants to step up and do anything better.
I mean, I stepped back. I didn't necessarily step back because I was getting criticized. I stepped back because it's a drain. It's a huge drain of your personal resources, financial resources, and you don't get any return, especially when you don't get any participation. Our biggest problem was we lacked participation, right. And I could point fingers at all the vape shops in Massachusetts, but I mean, really, it was just a PR problem. Like, we weren't getting out there, we weren't telling people about all the good that we were doing, because it's harder than it sounds to keep up with social media, to keep your meeting minutes, organized and let people know what you're doing week to week, that kind of thing. It's harder than it sounds. And I think this new crop of folks who are getting involved now in Massachusetts are starting to realize that, maybe MassFo wasn't as much of a shit show as we're making it out to be, because it is difficult. They're starting to find that out. But hopefully they can learn from us, learn from our mistakes, learn from, where our weaknesses were and where our strengths were, and kind of carry that torch forward. And hopefully eventually we will get to be like New York, where it just starts to snowball.
Right. I think that in Florida there are some new actors that are coming in to try to help out the FSFA, but absolutely anyone who's a member of the FSFA, a member organization, could certainly say, hey, I want to throw my hat in the ring next time you guys are doing elections for president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, or whatever, and I want to become actively involved. It's just everyone's caught up in their own life and their own business, and it's when it's time for that, you usually get crickets. So,
right,
advocacy is a tough nut to crack, very tough. But I'm going to throw this quote at the top, and it was kind of long, so it looks a little small, but I had to fit it all in there. If you're afraid to defend your convictions because you might get your ass kicked for it, you're not really fit to advocate for them.
Who said that?
It was an author who actually went to USF, by the way, but he's internationally renowned author, James Carlos Blake. And it's absolutely true. I mean, you can't be afraid of losing. You can't be afraid of getting your ass kicked because it's going to happen. But I agree with what Jay said. You got to, with that knowledge, keep going.
Yeah, stay focused. Ignore the noise. And I've talked to.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I've offered that advice to many, like, high-end advocates, nationally. Some of them observe it. They try to observe it. Some of them don't, but some of them just hashtag it and then keep lashing out.
Yeah.
It just, it's human nature. I mean, you're going to get defensive when somebody is attacking, when you're working, say 40, 50 hours a week for advocacy, and obviously you're not seeing a dime for it short term. And then people come crawling out of the woodwork and start attacking you. Your natural reaction is going to be to get defensive.
Absolutely.
When probably the best reaction is to ignore it and just keep doing what you're doing, because the smart people out there are going to see what you're doing. They're going to concentrate on your content and the information that you're putting forth, and they're going to ignore all the other noise anyway. So, it doesn't behoove anyone to cater to the least common denominator and try to remain in a defensive position to people who are supposed to be on your side to begin with, because chances are their motives are not pure. Their motives are purely ego based. So just ignore it. Just brush it aside. The people that matter are going to pay attention to what you're doing, not what the assholes in the peanut gallery are doing.
Right. By the way, if you're watching and you haven't hit that like button, please make sure you do that now. I forgot to say that at the beginning. And also, if you're watching on the replay, don't forget to share the link. We'll have it posted up in the VCC Live Facebook page, probably by tomorrow morning or noonish. So make sure you please hit the like button and share the link. We appreciate that. Welcome to everyone in chat who's joined us over the last 20 minutes or so. We know Battery Mooch is in here. What's up, Mooch? He says he's listening while cooking. Nice.
Hope you're cooking something good.
I thought all he did was review batteries. I didn't know he ate and slept and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a little something on the grill this weekend.
Is that giant thing behind you?
Giant rack of baby back ribs.
We'll see. Actually, well, it's Easter weekend, so I might actually smoke like a couple of whole turkey breasts or something. I don't know.
I thought you were going to say rabbits.
Yeah. If I could find rabbit around here, I might do that.
Yeah, just make sure you don't get the chocolate bunnies and put them on the smoker. That probably wouldn't.
I'll make a nice chocolate barbecue sauce.
Unless you could put them on a bed of graham crackers and sandwich in some marshmallows. That'd be pretty good.
Low carb.
Oh, my bad. So yeah, that's all. The rest of the time we just spend whatever you guys want to talk about, catching up. If you have any questions in chat, that's really the only main topics we had to talk about.
Yeah. Did you see? I'm only mentioning this because Battery Mooch is here, but Asmodus released a home battery testing thing. It looks like a little charger, but it's got a fan. And you can test your continuous amp limit of your battery. You can test the milliamp hour of the battery. It reads temperatures. It does a whole bunch of stuff. And they released them to consumers. And they sent me one, and I can't figure out how to use it. But apparently, it does all these things, which is I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't think there'll be a day when we don't need Battery Mooch. But I think it's interesting that someone who doesn't know about Battery Mooch could possibly have this product and test their own batteries and make sure they're being safe.
I think Mooch needs to test the battery tester to see how accurate.
How can a device test the limits of a battery? I don't know. To me,
you know what? I don't know. You put in it's fairly straightforward. I was fiddling with it last night, but you put in certain parameters, like voltage parameters, and then you put your battery on and you press start, and it'll go through this whole process, and it'll give you at the end what information you requested. So if you're testing for the maximum amp limit, continuous discharge rate, you put your battery in there, you put in the parameters, you press start, it does its thing for a couple minutes, and then it beeps at you and says, this is what amp limit your battery is.
See, I would think that's the thing. I would think that, okay, you put in your parameters, and once the battery explodes, that's your limit. That's your limit,
Right.
right?
I don't think it goes. I don't think it goes that far. I feel like it's honestly pretty limited because I could fiddle with things, and I put a Sony VTC5A on there, and the first time I fired it up, it read it as a 9-amp battery. And I go, well, there's no way that's correct. I know that's not correct. So I changed the settings, and then it read it as like a 42-amp battery. And I was like, well, that's not correct either.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of like.
I don't really understand how Mooch does what he does.
Yeah, like,
but I'm just glad that he does what he does.
And Mooch just said in the chat, without measuring temperature, you can't set a current rating. That makes sense to me because you would have to measure the temperature of the battery. Like once it hits a certain temperature where it's warming up, you can say, whoa, that's the limit. That's the limit. Don't go any further from here because it'll explode. You know, that makes sense.
That's the thing. If there's a company, if a company is putting out a device that people are going to say, oh, wow, this is going to work and I can test it, and it's giving you not accurate or not complete information, then I think that's something that vapors need to know about.
Yep.
I agree.
So,
but that's why I vape from a now defunct high-end vape manufacturer company.
Yeah. I don't have that problem. I vape at 10 watts.
That's why
I'm vaping on a radius at 15 watts. I think my battery is safe. I could be running a Duracell in this thing and it would be safe.
Jay is not advocating use of Duracells.
No, he is devices. Not. I don't think you can't put Duracell in here.
Never do that.
Never do that. So yeah, I mean that's a good point that you bring up.
That's a thing.
That's a thing, and
need
hopefully
to get
his hands on one and test it.
And in fact, I have one that I don't know how to use, Mooch. If you want it to use it to test out, hit me up and I'll send it to you to use it because I don't know what I'm doing with it. So
yeah, absolutely,
it's all yours if you want it.
There you go, Mooch. While you were cooking your North African dinner, you just got more work. Yes, Rob, this is an IPv4.
What's a North African dinner?
Probably Arabic, I would think. Moroccan, maybe. Egyptian.
Ooh, Moroccan food's good.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of lamb and slow braising and stuff. Nice.
Yeah. Mooch says, hell yeah, let's do it, Graham. Okay, cool. So you guys can hook up after this is over and figure out the details. Well, maybe Mooch, you can break the results on VCC Live for us whenever you get them. Yeah, Rob, I've had this for about, I don't even know how long I've had this. Maybe 2.5 years or something, this IPv4. I've had other devices come and go in the interim, and I don't vape again. I'm not a high wattage vape or anything, but this thing is like a tank, dude. It just doesn't quit. I don't even know if you can see like the button and stuff on it. It's all, I mean, this has been well used.
I think I have one of those. I have one of those.
Yeah.
And this is the new Aspire Nautilus 2 or whatever. And
like it?
Just
a quick the lung guy. Is it good?
It's fucking incredible. The only thing that I can say that I don't like about it, and I think that for some reason it was a guy named Tony from PA that actually sent me this to try because he knows I'm a mouth to lung vapor and they're not available here yet. And he's like, I appreciate all that you do for advocacy and stuff. I'm going to send you one of them. I was like, wow, I really appreciate that. But I think it's EU stock, and I don't know if the ones that are meant for North America or other parts of the world are more than 2 milliliters, but this is like a 2 milliliter capacity, and I'm filling this bitch like 5 times a day. No kidding. I mean, it's like I'll be vaping, and because the old Nautilus I could fill up and use it for probably a day and a half or whatever. But this one I'll be vaping it, and I'll start to get like a little bit of a bad taste, and I look at it and it's empty, and I'm like, holy shit, I just filled it. But anyway, that's my only complaint is the e-liquid capacity on it. But other than that, yeah, it is really, really good. The flavor is really good. I set it at 3.5 holes. That's what I like for the draw on it, and it's perfect.
I think
that's how I like my women.
3.5 holes.
That's how I like my women.
3.5 holes.
3.5 holes.
Very nice. Very classy.
Me and Jay went to the same exact place on that joke.
That's funny, but yeah, it works. It's fantastic. The only thing I notice is that I would say the Nautilus is still a great tank. I love it. It spits less than the Nautilus, or it leaks less, or something. I don't know. There's just less issues with it.
Yeah, I completely agree. The Nautilus is still, like, as far as I'm concerned, with mouth to lung, that's the standard by which all other tanks are compared.
Well, I was saying now the Nautilus too. I think it's I would give like the Nautilus like a 9, and this maybe a 9.5, except for the e-liquid capacity. It's perfect.
What about the K-Fun, Jay? K-Fun Light.
Well, you're still going to compare that against a Nautilus. It's better than a Nautilus, but you have to build on it.
Yeah. Okay. So, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I hear you. That's good.
But you can't beat the flavor of a K-Fun. You just can't.
No.
For mouth to lung.
So Thobai, I think I'm saying it correctly in the chat, said the 2 mil limit is from the UK. Here in Germany, we have no limit on size. So maybe it's UK stock.
The only limit is your imagination.
Cool, Mooch. I got you, Mooch.
So I want to take this opportunity to formally invite Nick to NVE. May 6th and 7th, I believe.
The name of the event, though, it's National Vape something?
Expo. NationalVapeExpo.com.org.
Okay. And it's all the way up in Connecticut.
All the way up in Connecticut.
Jay's like, pop on over.
That's a long flight for me, man.
Well, see if Michael pay for your flight. There's still some hotels.
I don't know, Michael.
I just booked the hotel this morning.
Are you staying at the casino or no?
Yeah, I am. I decided I'm going to stay there. I still don't know whether or not my family's going to come with me, because there is an arcade. So
there is an arcade.
Yeah, there's something for the kids to do, so that's good. But there'll be a lot of partying, and you'll be able to hang out with my buddy Nick Bissett from Daily Vape TV.
You and Nick. That's worth the price of admission alone. Is anybody else going?
No. No, I haven't talked to Phil yet. Phil went to the last one that I was at, and we hung out quite a bit. I don't know if he's going to this one. I haven't talked to him much, I think, since Pittsburgh. I think after Pittsburgh we kind of lost touch.
So far we have, not that this is anything on your topic, but so far we have Nick, Matt and V, Ruby, and Nick Bissett from Daily Vape TV that are scheduled to come to Tampa, so that's pretty cool. I think
and when is that? When is that?
Mike Vapes was going to try to attend as well, but I haven't heard back from him on that, whether he can or not. That's June 24th and 25th, Tampa, Florida.
I'm still not a definite no for that, so you never know what's going to happen.
30 minutes.
Summers are going to be tough with my day job.
30 minutes from Clearwater Beach.
We do software for private schools across the country, so summer is usually actually very busy because schools are
I'm trying to keep
stuff
an eye on the chat. It says Bill said Kevin vapes at 15 or under, Jay vapes at 15 or under, Demi vapes at 15 or under, Phil vapes at 15 or under. So do I. So Nick, what do you prefer vaping at?
Anything that'll give me clouds, bro. I vape.
What would you say typically your range is?
I vape
typically.
Anything that flattens my flat brim.
I don't know. Yeah, anything that makes my flat brim flatter and my clouds bigger. I like hard shorts at high wattages. Basically, that's how I vape. Awesome. Most of the time, honestly, it's a 0.2 around 80 watts.
0.2 around 80 watts.
I try to shoot for 0.2 on everything. No, that's not unreasonable. I have some setups that are just like Cloud setups, like a 0.1 that I'll put on a DNA 250 and turn up to 200 watts because I like it sometimes. But for the most part, 0.2, 80 watts, we're good.
I'm still. I went to a headphones because Jay told me it would help, and now I'm getting people say, "Turn up your mic or speak louder." And one of them says, "Kevin's volume keeps going up and down." So I just turned the volume up on it. Is that better?
You know what? That's probably my fault because I'm the only one without headphones on right now. So it probably is my fault. Next week we'll all be on headphones.
Okay.
Swear to God. swear to God.
Well, I turned the volume up. I don't know if I'm breaking you guys' speakers or not right now. Hopefully it's not
Nope.
too bad.
You're not crazy.
That is what I need.
Trying to see any other comments that there was a lot of them. By the way, there's still a lot more of you watching that have liked the video, so please make sure you hit like real quick. It takes 1 second, maybe even less.
You're like the like
I'm
a impresario of YouTube.
I'm the like
just
Nazi.
Like, I'll like
Nick,
it. There you go.
Nick, if you guys come to NVE, you have to bring your girlfriend because I'm going to bring a lot of like spectacular bourbons.
Okay. Well, the chances of that are even lower, but I can certainly attempt to make her jealous by telling her all about all the amazing bourbons that Jay let me have.
Okay.
So that's just as good, I feel.
Yes. Yeah. That would work for me.
Right.
I'm good with that.
Says,
was there a severe lack of beards and black t-shirts in the UK?
There was a severe lack of beards and black t-shirts in the UK. Is that accurate?
No, I mean everybody, pretty much everybody that I met that like wanted to come up and say hi to me and do selfies and stuff like that. It was a lot of black t-shirts and beards. I mean, still a lot of black t-shirts and beards. Even
I'm dreading the day when the beards become like no longer a thing and everybody is using like high-end double-edged shaving gear because that's what I'm into. I'm into all that stuff, but once the flat brimmer beard wearers get into that hobby, like all of a sudden there are going to be soap makers on every fucking corner. Like people are going to be like running lathes to make razors and but the cost is going to go through the roof.
I'm really looking forward to the day that beards aren't like worshipped. Like I find that obnoxious. Like we get it. You didn't shave. That's awesome.
Right.
Shave for really fucking.
In my day, you identified yourself by the music that you listened to. You remember that? Like.
Oh yeah.
If you were into rock and roll, you looked a certain way. You acted a certain way. If you were into hip hop, you looked a certain way. Actors. Now music has nothing to do with culture anymore.
No,
it's a big fucking mess. Like it's all just fucking like music doesn't fucking matter because it's just noise now. It's all about if you're a vapor douche.
You're aging yourself here, Jay.
Yeah, you're a vapor douche, or you're into spinners and like fiddly shit, or like all this useless crap. What happened to the music? Bring the music back.
I think I'm going to start a spinner company and call it fiddly shit. That's fucking great.
Fiddly shit.
Fiddly shit. While you're smoking your doobage, you can fiddle.
Yeah. Fiddly shit.
All right. I don't see any more comments, guys, and I haven't eaten dinner yet. So we're going to end it a few minutes early. We appreciate you guys turning out and watching and listening to our fiddly shit.
Yeah, we do.
Hopefully Matt's YouTube channel is okay and he'll be back with us next week. And again, if you have any suggestions or anything about what you want us to talk about, throw them in the comments to the video after it finishes rendering and whatever the hell YouTube does with it. Usually takes about a half an hour, 45 minutes. Throw some comments down there with some suggestions on anything that you might want us to talk about besides beards and fiddly shit. That was pretty good, Jay. Again, links to everything we talked about, the items we talked about will be in the description. And any closing thoughts, Jay?
Fiddly shit. Meteor shit.
Fiddly shit and ribs. A new restaurant by Jay DeLuco.
Fiddly shit and ribs.
Nick, any closing thoughts?
Here's your menu and a spinner. No, man, I got nothing.
Okay.
Just keep doing your thing. Keep fighting the good fight, and flatten those brims and blow some big clouds.
I'd be remiss if I didn't say support HR 1136. Contact your representatives. Make sure that they are sponsoring and or at least supporting it, but also co-sponsoring if they can. That's HR 1136. And one of the reasons why we're leaving early. See this? My 2 milliliter tank capacity. I'm empty, and I'm starting to get some nasty taste, and I need a vape. So, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for turning out. Don't forget to hit the like button.
Yeah.
Like Nazi here.
Woo.
We'll see you all next week. And remember, you don't have to do everything. You do have to do something. Get involved.